Students, greetings from Chitkara University. I'm Narinder Garcha and I specialize in the field of sales and marketing. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to this session on marketing management. And today we'll be sharing information pertaining to market environment competition about market environment definition, salient features of business environment, types of competitive environment, and components of marketing environment, both micro and macro. Now, let's first try and look at the definition of marketing environment and competition. So, the company's market environment consists of actors and forces outside of marketing that affect marketing management ability to build and maintain successful relationship with the target customer. As I shared with you earlier, everything starts with the corporate goals, the vision and mission of the organization. They plan products and services to bring about a meaningful value proposition for the customer. They try and research the target segment that they want to impact. Then they also look at strategies that can help them build that kind of relationship with the market. But there's one thing that they cannot always, control, and that is the marketing environment and competition, because this is out of their control. But this immensely impacts all the organization because this is something you cannot predict. Yes, you can be proactive based on certain trends, certain patterns that you had seen in the past, but it is actually that you cannot always predict how the market is going to behave, how the competition is going to behave, because that is something not in your hands. These are beyond the control of any organization. But then, yes, they definitely impact the revenues, the income, the performance of any organization. Now, let's look at the salient feature of business environment. The business environment is very, very dynamic. We are living in a VUCA world, which is volatile, which is uncertain, which is complex, which is ambiguous. Things keep on changing all the time. We've seen overnight there's a change, there's something new in the market. And if I have to look at something which has been changing from time to time, I'm sure you'll look at the audio cassette, from where it started. After that, we have the CDs, we have smartphones, and this journey continues. We really don't know what actually after smartphones. This is complex. Yes, the market environment is complex. It is closely interrelated and interdependent. If there's a change in one commodity, it may impact the other. Price fluctuation in one commodity can adversely, impact the other commodity, which nobody would have even thought of. If I'm talking about changing prices, rates, everything, impacts. Difficult to know the exact influence. It is difficult to measure, and we cannot also predict the timing. Change in one element affects the other. I shared with you already that one aspect, if it gets impacted, it will have a cascading impact on other factors as well. The introduction of smartphone has made CD players, watches, cameras, etc. almost obsolete. Sometime back, there was a great market for cameras. People were, they used to carry it to hill stations or to various destinations where they wanted to capture their memories, come back and enjoy. But of late, I think you have everything in the smartphone now. Smart mobile phone, you have, you can play music, you can watch movies. You have a camera now, and they come with very good resolution cameras now. So what smartphones have actually done to all these other gadgets, like CD player and watches or cameras, they are becoming absolute. Nowadays, even if you're not wearing a watch, you know that you have a mobile in your pocket. So anytime you wish to see time, you can always take out your mobile phone and see what time it is. Yes, instead of CD player, you play everything on the mobile. So this what has happened is one gadget has made so many gadgets obsolete. They become redundant, useless altogether. Whereas it has become so effective, just keeping one gadget instead of keeping four or five, and you get you get good quality. You can enjoy. This is an kind of an interactive tool, so it helps you. It engages you. So that is how it is. Marketing environment is very uncertain. It is difficult to forecast the future. You cannot forecast the future. How is it going to be? What are changes that will come to the market suddenly? So when environment is volatile, it changes very fast. The uncertainty also increases. People really do not know what they're going to do, how's it going to work. So it is impossible to predict the future trend, especially if I have to talk about fashion. People have their own habits, preferences. So when the fashion is going to change, nobody knows. And suddenly somebody has been into they've been into this field, they've been into manufacturing of garments or apparels, and there's a change in fashion. So what do they do with the stock? But they couldn't have predicted that overnight the fashion preferences of people, they're going to change. Let's take example of films. Here also we've seen, people were, we see a change in their preferences again. People, those who were interested in family kind of movies, suddenly the preferences have changed to action-packed movies. So the ones those were still in the process of making, what do they do? Again, it's an uncertain world. Nobody can predict, and you have to live with these realities. Then let's talk about IT, information technology. I think major disruption has happened in this field, which is information and technology, the way we see these gadgets now, the way we look at smartphones, the way we look at payment portals like Paytm or Bharat Pay. We have not thought of this 10 years back. There was that traditional way of, transacting money. Nobody have thought that there will be digital transfer of money, so we may not even wish to go to any, ATM or to banks. Earlier, there were banks where we had to stand in queue if there was a payment that has to be received or we had to deposit money. Then came in the ATMs, and from those ATMs, we moved on to these portals, these payment gateways, that even if you go to a vegetable vendor, you can pay through, by scanning the barcode through Paytm or other service provider. So this is how uncertain the world is. And nobody can predict what the future trends are going to be. Are we going to have some other version of these payment portals? No one knows. Would there be further ease of payment? We really do not know. So we know one thing for sure, that all these factors, they impact the external factors, they impact the marketing environment, impacts the growth and success of organization big time. And yes, they can be a little proactive, but nobody can predict, as to how the market is going to behave. Okay, let's look at the other aspects of marketing environment and competition. Due to complexity, uncertainty, and dynamism of business environment, there is continuous change in shape, character, and scope. The fresh opportunities. Example, COVID-19 shifted offline to online learning. Who would have thought about it? I think all of us agree that we've gone through some unprecedented, unusual difficult and different times during COVID-19, and we are still coming out of it. But then there's a lot of lessons that we have learned from COVID-19. There are a lot of business models that have evolved out of COVID-19. There's so many businesses that have shut down because of COVID-19. But then many businesses have looked at the opportunity. And one of the biggest opportunity in COVID-19 has been exploring the areas related to education. Because suddenly schools were shut, colleges were closed, and social gathering was not allowed, classroom teaching or learning was not allowed, because that would have helped in spread of COVID-19 virus. So then what was this business opportunity? Companies like Upgrad, Vedantu, Topper, they all came up with platforms through which they could disseminate online education. So again, a big disruption. Though Zoom existed, all of us know Google Meet was always there before COVID-19. Zoom was always there. But just try and look at how technology has been leveraged, how technology has been used during the COVID-19 period. So this is one example that, due to uncertain dynamism, there's a change, and people, even during COVID-19, things did not stop. There were ways and means to it. There were newer models in the market. If I talk about these online platforms, they were not there earlier. But now, even after, we see that that COVID-19 or it's declining, but still people have not got used to these platforms. Upgrad is still there in the market, they're doing well. Vedantu is there. Byju is there for that matter. So we can pretty much understand, that how things evolve and how fast they evolve during unprecedented time, during uncertain times, right? And we know all of this would have a far-reaching impact. Very great, there's a great influence not only on the growth, but also on survival of this organization. If you do not change as per the change scenario, the business may come to an end. So example is food delivery apps like, introduce new product, a new concept like online booking like Zomato, Swiggy, Foodpanda. And let me tell you, there's some examples that even I have come across. Initially, when Zomato was launched, they said, oh, who's going to order food, because food is something you enjoy when you are in that kind of environment, going to a hotel, going to a restaurant. That's the feeling people wanted to have and they wanted to enjoy. They say it is all about being together with friends, families, and enjoying food. But then this changed with Zomato and Swiggy and Foodpanda coming in. And from a business perspective also, let's try and look at it. Now we know that Zomato, Swiggy, they have their dedicated sales team, which works on the acquisition of customers. They try and approach these hotels, restaurants, and they bring them on board on their app. And from there, the business starts in terms of online booking of food. So I'd seen initially there were few hotels and restaurants who were reluctant. They said, no, we don't want to be on this app. Maybe this will not help. It will not enhance my image in the mind of the customer. This may not lead to a positive perception. But then slowly and slowly, we saw the ones who were not on Zomato. I'm talking about the hotels and restaurants. They had seen sharp decline in their businesses. People were not visiting their hotels or restaurants. Whereas people were ordering more online. The concept completely changed. And even during pandemic, we have seen that people said, okay, rather than going to hotels, let's order online. And so much so that these online delivery companies, food delivery companies, they had also started just to build a positive perception. They start saying our food is safe, it is hygienic. Even the person who is carrying or delivering this food is fully vaccinated, and this is his body temperature. But then look how the entire ecosystem changed. People, those who were used to going to hotels and restaurants, those who wanted to enjoy time, spend some time with their friends, are suddenly now ordering online. And the other dimension is, people are now ordering at late night also, because now they're looking at what more you can get. What is the advantage, competitive advantage you have while booking online? You have it at home while you're sleeping, while you can just order while being in the bed, anytime, every time, from anywhere, and anything of your choice. You get a lot of offers as well. So this is adding to convenience. This is adding to exploring more, and then getting all the menus in one shot. You get the flexibility of and the array of ordering from a whole range of delicacies, which was not happening before. So this has a far-reaching impact, right? And now we see hotels, those who are not registered, or those not on Zomato app, they're not mapped. They are actually facing the heat. They are not getting the kind of business they would have expected, but others are getting it. So we must look at it that, and who would have thought of this sometime back, say 5 or 7 or 10 years, if I talk about, go back, say 8 years or 10 years, no would have dreamt of online booking of food or delivery of food. But now it is a reality. Now this has become a reality because all of us, we do that, which we have not thought of earlier. So this is the far, reaching impact that the change may have, or this environment would have on businesses. Okay, it's relative. It differs from country to country and even region to region. At some places it will be in some other form. In some places it will be in a different form. And it also depends on different type of environment. The technology in one country differs from that in another country. So it purely depends, there could be regional differences there in terms of marketing and one competition. Like if I have to give an example, Honda Activa 7G is expected to launch by mid 2022, whereas in US you have 10G scooters are being launched. So for us, the competition is different. In the US market, the competition is different. The volatility basis, the presence of one product is different in India, and volatility due to presence of some product X is different in Europe. So this relativity also makes a difference when we are talking about market environment and competition. Now let's look at some interesting facts. Since we are talking about marketing environment and competition, we've seen Reliance Jio revolutionizing India's digital ecosystem. And we'll also take a peek at Reliance Jio as a competitor. Though I remember long time back, there was one campaign from Reliance Karlo Duniya Muthi Mein, where they've given the handsets also to people so that they get used to the brand. It worked for some time, but then later on, it did not the way they wanted it to work. So what you see right now is that in India, more than 10 mobile carriers when Jio entered the market in 2016. So there was Bharti Airtel, there's Bharti Airtel, Aircel, BSNL, MTNL, Idea, Vodafone, and there were five other service providers. And if you look at this entire pie chart, we can see Bharti holds the major share, which is 24.8. Aircel had 8.6%. BSNL had 9.3, 17% with Idea, and 19.1% with Vodafone. So this complete landscape changed. And who changed it? Reliance. So you can say this is disruption also, and disruption happens overnight. It can happen overnight. So let's see what happened actually after that. So if you look at Reliance, or for that matter, Jio. So let's look at the telecom market share in India, September 2020. We're talking subscribers in million. So now BSNL has just 10% of share. Vodafone has 26%, Airtel 29%, and Jio staggering 35%. Imagine a company which was not there on the telecom landscape suddenly comes, disrupts the market through its marketing mix tools, works on the pricing of it, works on the promotion part of it, works on the availability of the product, and suddenly you see a new face on the landscape, on the telecom landscape. And it's not about entering the market, it is about leading the market. They never disrupted the market to be another player in the market. And that's never ever been Reliance's policy. They've always wanted the lion's share. So they disrupted the market not to become a key player in the market. They disrupted the market because they wanted to be the market leader. So things change overnight for other organizations. You don't see Aircel. If you look at the landscape now and what I had shown to you earlier, we had Aircel. But do you see Aircel now? No, you do not. Because some companies, they could not withstand the kind of disruption Jio did because they had their own limitation. And for them, this was the marketing environment and competition they could not withstand. So many companies, they got into mergers and acquisitions because they said that if they'll come together only, then they'll be able to withstand the pressure of the market and competition. So this is what I was trying to tell you, that market environment competition is so volatile, it's so dynamic that it changes, it disrupts. Now also let's look at some more examples. This is Nestle, powers on with a rural revamp and innovation. Nestle has always been there in the urban market. They've sold their product in the urban market, and that's been their forte for quite some time. But rural is an important dimension because next phase of expansion, we talk about Nestle. So their focus is going to be to reach out to 1.2 lakh villages in rural India by 2024. That's their plan. That's their objective, clear objective, that they're going to reach 1.2 lakhs villages in rural India by 2024. And product portfolio, by renovating some products, they're probably going to do some mix and match, and they're going to look at what products will work well in the rural sector. And rural is an important dimension of next phase of Nestle. And let me tell you that they've tasted success in this as well. They've been doing great work in terms of now rural expansion also. And their competition is with HUL, right, which is Hindustan Lever Limited, you know that. And they are already established. HUL is an established name when we talk about the rural market, the availability of their products in the rural market. But now, if you would have noticed, you go to even remotest part of the country, you will find Maggie, you'll find other products. So that somewhere they've been able to expand their the distribution network also. So that gives them the confidence that yes, they can reach out to remotest of the parts. And now reaching out to rural market is not a big challenge for them actually. And though we know that they have this competition from a big player in the market, which is HUL. So marketing environment competition, competitive environment is a system where different businesses compete with each other by using various marketing channels, promotional strategies, pricing methods. This system has regulation within it that companies should follow. So what is competition? I think there are different businesses which compete. Now, if I talk about mobiles, there are n number of brands there. If we talk about soaps, there are n number of brands there. If we talk about toothpaste, there are n number of brands there. If we talk about automobiles, there are n number of brands there. But then they have their own strategies, how they're going to market their product, how they're going to place their product, what is going to be the positioning. Are they looking at a premium segment of customer, or are they focusing somewhere else? Or what are their promotional strategies going to look like? What kind of competitor advantage they can have over their competitors? So they try and use the marketing mix in terms of product, the price, the place, promotion, everything gets leveraged, and they use it to their advantage because they want to beat competition and they want to create that kind of impact in the market. So they adopt different strategies to move customers. So everywhere you'll find that there are similar products available in the market, yet all of them would be selling. Some of them would be selling. Some would be looking at a larger market share. For some, probably they would be looking at niche market, or some would have started selling in the cluttered market. So it depends. So market, let's look at the types of competitive environment. You have pure competition, small companies produce similar products. They can't influence the price defined by supply and product demand. So like if we talk about dairy products, vegetables, local marketing, you can't change them, and they agree to what's going on already. Let's also look at monopolistic competition. Many manufacturers, they produce different products, so they may serve same purpose. Customers can distinguish the products and difference in terms of the quality, and also companies are price maker, can influence the price. Example, the grocery store, they sell many same goods with distinct branding. Clothing store offer differentiated products that are typically similar, so they can put same goods, but they sell it under different brands. Now, talking about monopoly, I think the products which are unique, which cannot be copied, they don't face competition. Product doesn't have any substitute. So we have some products from Google, we have some products from Microsoft. They fall in this category of monopoly. And then there's another type of competitive environment, which is oligopoly, where you have a small number of business, usually 2 or more, and they're stable. You have large firms, but not too many, And these firms within themselves, they decide the prices and they keep the prices higher. Like example, Hollywood movie production studios have been oligopoly for a long time. Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, and even if I have to talk about the cinema chains, talking about PVR, talking about Inox, Cinepolis, very few. They're large houses. They're very large houses. But then they offer similar products and they only decide the pricing within themselves. So that is probably what oligopoly is all about. So market environment and competition as component of marketing environment is we have both internal and external. And in external we have micro and we have macro element as well. So if I have to talk about external environment, micro, we have the firms, we have suppliers, we have market intermediaries, we have customers, we have competition, we have public. And if I have to talk about external environment, macro, we have the demographic, which is the size of population, various groups within the population, social and cultural, legal, political, economic, and technological. So these are some references which I'd like to share with you, which you can go to while exploring more information about this product. Student, once again, thank you so much for your time. Take good care of yourself, stay fit, stay healthy, and stay safe. And God bless.